Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here with a brand new thoughts video for all of you guys, and yeah, I guess kind of makes sense to actually do another thoughts video right about now. And believe it or not, much like the last two that I actually did right about now, we're of course mainly going to be talking about another certain movie or show or whatever that's currently out on Netflix as we speak. So yeah, much like with what I did with, of course, my thoughts videos that I did on both Sailor Moon Eternal and Season 3 of Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, yeah, we're just gonna mainly stick to Netflix as normal and actually talk about the latest movie that had just hit the streaming service right about now. So yeah. Kind of makes sense on that front, and yes, I know a lot of you guys are expecting me to, of course, talk about the latest movie that hit theaters for sure. Like, of course, yeah, I am slated to go see In the Heights sometime later on, and I'm gonna try my best to, of course, see both Spirit Untamed and Peter Rabbit 2 right about now. So yeah, those are what I currently got in terms of theaters. Yeah. Basically seeing movies in theaters for sure. Don't worry. Yeah, and don't worry about a thing. I am going to be getting to those three sometime later on, but won't be until about some point around later this month, hopefully, but we shall wait and see. But hey, I guess in the meantime, we're just going to mainly talk about the latest movie that just came out not too long ago, and like I said, just mainly staying on the path of Netflix right about now. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can do at this point, just to give you guys a little bit of something to, yeah, just as a way to, of course, help bridge the gap of all things. So yeah, that's what I kind of figured I would do. So yeah. Alright. So yeah, I guess for, of course, today's thoughts video right about now, seeing how we still are, of course, staying on the path of Netflix as we speak. So I guess the only question remains, what is it I'm going to be talking about, you may ask? Well, I guess this may come as a bit of a surprise for all of you, but hey, I think, yeah, but I guess if anything, call me a bit of a perplex something, or yeah, I just don't even know what to think of this one right about now, but yeah, call me a bit of a yeah, just anything that you can call me nowadays, but hey, I still figure out that of course I would, of course, do something for, of course, in general. So yeah, I guess for the case of staying on the path of Netflix right about now, I guess the only question remains, what is it I'm going to be talking about for sure? Well, I think the answer is actually quite simple, and call me a bit of a spectacle nerd, to be honest, and yeah, I honestly don't know why I actually thought about the heck. It just popped up into the head right about now. So yeah, I guess if anything, why don't we actually talk about something that I think I may have already talked about last month, but not particularly on the same movie that I actually covered last month, but mainly, of course, on a company that I actually mentioned in one of my thoughts videos that I did well over a month ago. So yeah, maybe, yeah, I guess that's what I kind of figured I would do. So yeah, I guess right about now, I think for, of course, today's thoughts video right about now, while we're still on the path of Netflix right about now, I figure why not talk about the latest movie that's done by, well, Sony Pictures Animation. So yeah, I guess I guess that will give you a subtle little hint to, of course, what I'm gonna be talking about. So yeah, and I guess if you may recall, well over a month ago, I actually had a blast taking a look at their animated film that hit Netflix well over a month ago, which was, of course, The Mitchells vs. the Machines. So yeah, and of course, oddly enough, it is not the only Sony animation film that I've actually mentioned for sure, as I might have actually mentioned probably another Sony Pictures Animation film in that said review that I'm hoping to actually take a look at. Well, believe it or not, it just hit Netflix right about now, and, well, got the chance to watch it, and might as well talk about it for all of you guys. So yeah, and I know it's actually saying a whole lot, seeing how pretty much not only this, and of course the Mitchells versus the Machines that we actually got well over a month ago, or 2 months ago, whichever, but also, of course, there are other upcoming film, Vivo, that we're hoping to get some point around later on, but we shall wait and see. And of course, not to mention, we're also going to be getting the 4th Hotel Transylvania movie that's officially coming out onto the big screen, which is sweet. So yeah, I guess for this case, why not actually talk about this latest film from, of course, Sony Pictures Animation that I did already hint in, of course, my Mitchells versus the Machines review that I did. So yeah, and in case if you couldn't recall right about now, I guess for today's thoughts video, I'm of course going to be talking about the latest Sony animation film that had just hit Netflix right about now, simply known as Wish Dragon. So yeah, I guess if anything, that is exactly what I'm going to be talking about for, of course, this thoughts video right about now. And yeah, like I said in my Mitchells vs. the Machines review that I did, I think I might have actually mentioned that movie as it was slated to actually come out sometime soon. And, well, looks like the movie is officially out. So yeah, might as well go ahead and talk about it. Alright. Now, just to be clear, I think pretty much when I actually first knew about it, I was like, maybe this might be something quite interesting. I mean, granted, it might have some things that could be a bit familiar to me, but hopefully I think with some new ideas and actually some pretty much some interesting takes that they want to do with the thing, maybe I think it could be something good. And of course, it's pretty much what I've actually got for, of course, the trailer, and it did intrigue me a bit, but hey, I can't say it doesn't look bad or terrible by all means, but I'm still willing to, of course, give it a shot anyways. And yeah, it's pretty much what I would expect for, of course, this movie overall. It may have some things that are a bit familiar to me, but trust me, I'll get more onto that some point around later. But I am quite interested and quite curious to see what they're going to do for, of course, this one. So yeah, I guess it's pretty much what I can do for, of course, this movie right about now. So yeah, now that the movie has officially landed on Netflix, I have officially decided, you know, I guess I might as well go ahead and give it a shot anyways, just to see how it turns out. And, well, looks like after spending about well over an hour and a half of course, this movie, what do I think of it overall? Well, it's kind of hard to actually say it in words, to be honest. And I really don't know what I'm gonna be expecting for this to actually come out of my mouth for sure. But I guess for the case of this movie right about now, I'm not too disappointed by it. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not disappointed by, of course, this movie. I think it's actually I think it's got some fun ideas, and of course an interesting take on, of course, what we've actually seen before, and of course all around it's actually not that bad. So yeah, I guess to be honest, I actually think this movie is good. Not great, just good, to be honest. I mean, truth be told, I don't know if I would put this among one of my top 10s of some of my favorite movies throughout each year, but I do think it's actually really good nevertheless. So yeah, and of course another thing I should mention right about now, it's not only good, to be honest, again, not great, but pretty good. But I guess if anything, based on what I've actually heard from word of mouth, it's pretty underrated. Yeah, you heard me right. I not only found this movie good, but pretty underrated at the same time. So yeah, I think it's pretty much what I can say for, of course, this movie right about now. So yeah. Alright. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much the short version of course, what I actually thought about this movie. I might as well go ahead and pretty much get out the long version out of the way and actually talk about everything that I need to talk about. First of all is, of course, the story for, of course, this movie. Now, truth be honest, I think I do know when I actually first saw the trailer and based on some info that I actually got about this movie, I think I know I did hint that earlier, but I might as well go ahead and talk about this now. I think I do kind of felt that, of course, throughout the majority of this movie right about now. I do felt it's kind of a bit similar to, of course, Disney's Aladdin as we speak. Almost like they're trying to, of course, do the exact same plot line that said movie did. But when I actually really look into it, it does kind of feel that way, yes, but it does offer a fresh and new, interesting take on, of course, this type of a storyline for sure. Yeah, I think it's pretty much pretty self-explanatory from, of course, what I've actually seen. The plot actually feels quite familiar with, of course, what it's actually trying to do. But at the same time, it actually does throw in some new and interesting ideas throw into it to make it its own individual storyline. So yeah, I guess about anything, and I guess for, of course, what it is, I think I will say the story, I have to say, is still done pretty good. I mean, granted, there could have been some stuff that could have been improved on to make it a whole lot more interesting, but for what it is, I actually do find it to be quite interesting, nevertheless. But yeah, I mean, if anything, it's not a great story by all means, but it's still did the job fine, and I think I would give props to, of course, this movie for doing that, and not only that, I also find the the film's writing, I have to say, again, does kind of feel familiar to, of course, Disney's Aladdin, but granted, they actually didn't do every single bullet point that movie did. Now, they actually did throw in some interesting ideas for, of course, what it has to do, and yeah, I think it's actually really quite interesting to actually see. And I mean, granted, I think some parts are, of course, written out. I just don't think actually are actually written out pretty well. And trust me, pretty much that, and of course, part of what I said for, of course, the story is pretty much one of the few major problems I actually have with this movie. And like I said, I'll get to that front some point around later on, but hey, regardless of course, of the writing feeling a bit familiar with, of course, what it's trying to do, but much like the story, it does throw in some really new and interesting ideas to actually make it stand out on its own, and that's actually something that I would expect for, of course, this movie overall, and like I said, I think it did do the job fine. Again, not great, to be honest, but still passable nevertheless, So, yeah, I guess if anything, it's pretty much what I can say on that. Alright. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much everything that I need to say for, of course, the story and the writing on this movie. Next up, I think pretty much another main thing that I should mention right about now is, of course, the characters. Now, again, I think it's kind of hard to say in words, but I think over what it is, I think the characters in, of course, this movie are actually done pretty well, in my opinion. Granted, I think they actually threw in some really great characters for, of course, what it has to do, and actually set up of course, their flaws and what kind of struggles they have to go through, and of course, they actually threw in some really interesting some interesting character development, but yeah, I think it's pretty much what I can say on that. They also actually threw in some really interesting character development for sure, and just by seeing them on screen, you really actually do stick up to them, and you actually do know how they feel. Practically, I think pretty much one character that I do think really stands out is indeed the Wish Dragon himself. Now, so yeah, I think I actually do find his character development to be absolutely incredible throughout the course of this movie. And like I said, he has to go through some massive troubles and of course some of his flaws in order to of course make it, in order to of course pretty much achieve to of course what he has to do. And yeah, I guess I can give props for of course what this what this movie has done, and yeah, much like the rest of the characters, again, I think, yeah, I think they actually did throw in some really great character development, and of course, threw in, of course, on what struggles and flaws that they have to tackle. I mean, granted, there are some characters that I do kind of feel are a bit one-note or, of course, too generic in my opinion, but I guess for the rest of the characters, they did the job fine, and plus, not only that, I think I will have to admit the actors that actually played all these characters in this movie, I think they actually pulled off some pretty good performances in my opinion. I mean, like I said, some of the for some of the characters that I have to say are a bit generic, and of course one-note, I think I do kind of felt pretty much the actors that actually played the characters that are of course generic and one-note did kind of feel a bit wugging and again generic at the same time, but I guess regardless, the rest of the actors, I have to say, they still pull off some pretty good performances in my opinion. Like I said, not great to be honest, but I still think they actually did do a fine job with each and every single one of their performances for sure. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say on that. Alright. So yeah, that pretty much takes care of course, all the characters and the actors in, of course, this movie. What about everything else that I need to talk about? Well, I think I will have to say, visually, it does look really impressive by far. I think, yeah, I think if anything, if there's one thing I can give this movie credit, is that it has really great visuals and, of course, some really great animation by far. So yeah, I think with, of course, everything that I've actually seen in this movie, it looks absolutely gorgeous by far. Pretty much not only from the way the characters actually look with some really great designs, but also the nice, yeah, but also I think the backgrounds as well, pretty much representing, of course, the good old city of Shanghai, China, is actually really impressive. I never thought I would see the day that of course, Shanghai would actually look this great in this movie by far. I think it's almost taking me back to, of course, two other films I've actually talked about earlier in these thoughts videos, those being, of course, Abominable and Over the Moon. I just really do admire how gorgeous the animation in both those films turned out, okay? Yeah, and of course, the way they actually represent Chinese culture actually really does stand out a whole lot, and I do find it to be absolutely impressive, and I guess it's the same thing to, of course, this movie here. I really love the way they actually made Shanghai look incredible for this movie, and I also really do admire the nice, interesting take on, of course, modern-day Chinese culture. So yeah. Yeah, and I mean, granted, I think there may be some parts, of course, in this movie where, of course, for the Chinese culture part, they actually got quote-unquote wrong, but hey, I guess for what I guess, they actually really do stand out a whole lot. So yeah, like I said, pretty much based on how visually it actually looks and how incredible it actually looks, and even with some really great textures and environments they actually threw into it, I really do admire the animation by far. I think it's actually brilliant hands down, and I really love the way it actually turned out, and of course it's on top of course, everything else that I need to say about this movie. Like, of course, I really think the direction of this movie by the film's director is, again, not really great by all means, but still pretty good nevertheless, and I really do admire the way it actually turned out, and plus, I also really love the way on how well scored the music is, for sure, and it does flow out pretty well to, of course, each and every scene that I actually watch. I really do admire the nice camera shots that they actually threw into it to help incorporate into the animation, and yeah, I also really do admire like how crisp and clean the film's editing is by far. So yeah, I guess with everything that I need to say, that is actually how much I have to say that I actually really do like Wish Tracking for sure. Again, not great by all means, but I do think it's actually pretty good nevertheless, so yeah, it's pretty much what I can say on that front. Alright. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much everything that I need to say for, of course, this movie for sure. And yeah, it's pretty much how much I actually really like it. Though, I guess if anything, if I were to go on to, of course, the problems with, of course, this movie, pretty much on top of course, that I do kind of feel that it's almost a lot like Disney's lagging, and of course the characters and of course the actors do kind of feel one-noted, wooging, and of course generic at the same time. I do kind of felt that I think maybe, just maybe, I think pretty much a great number of these issues, I have to say, wouldn't actually be as big of a problem in order to make this movie stand out well. Like I said, you could have actually done some stuff to actually make it more simple and actually far more interesting, but hey, I guess if anything, those are pretty much my major complaints for, of course, this movie overall. I mean, would I like this movie a whole lot better if they actually did do a whole lot of stuff that we've seen in Disney's Aladdin, but actually make it more reminiscent and, of course, way more interesting to actually look at? Of course I do. But I guess for what it is, maybe I think with the problems I've actually stated for, of course, this movie, maybe I think they could have actually fixed that up to actually make it a whole lot more interesting. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say on that front, hands down, as excuse me. Yeah, as pretty much my main problems with this movie. But the rest I have to say, again, it's actually pretty good, so yeah, I guess if anything, for what it is, I actually do think Wish Tracking is, of course, a pretty good movie nevertheless. It's actually got a pretty generic, but still actually pretty good story. It's got really great animation, pretty good characters, and yeah, what else can I say? This movie is actually pretty good nevertheless. I mean, granted, I think you may get some mixed feelings about this movie once you actually do take a look at it, but I guess for what it is, I think if you really look at it on its own, it's actually still pretty good nevertheless. I mean, I wouldn't say it's actually worthy enough to be one of my top favorites, but at the same time, I do kind of wish that maybe it could have been more on the same level as, say, The Mitchells versus the Machines, in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, granted, I'm actually seeing much better animated films than this, but I guess if anything, it still has a good sense of creativity, and I still admire for, of course, what it's actually trying to do. So yeah, I can't even say it's actually one of the best movies I've actually seen in my entire life. Take that for what it's worth. So yeah, but I guess if you are quite curious to actually see it for yourself, then don't worry about a thing. It's currently up on Netflix right about now, so if you got the time, definitely go see this movie for yourself, and yeah, could be another good watch for you on Netflix for sure if there's nothing better to do, but yeah, like I said, it may be generic in, of course, some areas, but at the same time, if you really look past all the problems, it's still a good movie nevertheless. So yeah, I guess for what it is, definitely see this movie for yourself if you haven't already. It'll be it's actually a harmless movie for you to watch on Netflix for sure. So yeah, I guess if anything, for my final score right about now, I'm definitely going to be fair here and give this a 7 out of 10. Like I say, it's not one of the greatest movies I've actually seen in my entire life, but I still think it's actually pretty good nevertheless, and yeah, like I said, the best way I can describe this movie, it is a bit underrated for sure. yeah, it's pretty much what I can say. It is a good movie, yes, but it does feel underrated at the same time, which I do feel bad because, yeah, I think this movie actually deserves a whole lot more love for sure. So yeah, if you got the time and if you have Netflix, definitely see this movie for yourself and give it the massive amount of attention it deserves right about now. So yeah, and trust me when I say it's actually one wish that may or may not have come true, but still worth granting nevertheless. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say on that. Alright. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say right about now. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and if you have seen Wish Dragon for yourself, then let me know in the comment section below if you have seen it and what you thought about it, as well as, of course, leaving me constructive criticism and or advice on how I can improve my videos in the near future. And of course, as always, feel free to send me an email if you want to ask me any questions, or if you just want to book me for a con or event that'll be coming up sometime in the near future. Follow me on my social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and plenty other social media sites that I have provided if you want to keep up to date with me. And of course, the links to them are down in the description box below. And of course, as always, feel free to support me on Patreon if you want to see some sneak peeks to some videos that I got coming up, as well as some other awesome rewards that will help fit into your budget. And of course, if you enjoyed today's video, then give it a massive thumbs up, as it really does help this channel out. And speaking of my channel, feel free to, of course, subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you want to see more videos like this coming up in the near future. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and yeah, I guess if anything, it's pretty much what I can say for, of course, this movie right about now. So yeah, hopefully I think for, of course, the next one I'll do, like I said, I am definitely gonna go see In the Heights, Spirit Untamed, and Peter Rabbit 2 on the big screen sometime later, but we shall have to wait and see on that, and see if there's any good time slots on the Haga. But I guess until then, or of course I can actually probably in between this and of course the other one I'll do, yeah, which with of course one of those 3 movies that are released in theaters right by now that may or may not come in between. We're actually gonna step out of Netflix right by now and take a look at a brand new Pixar movie that's coming out to Disney Plus. Yeah, and I guess you can actually take some wild guess on, of course, what I'm going to be talking about. But, in case you actually don't, you're just going to have to wait until the next thoughts videos. Yeah, wait until the next thoughts video to, of course, see what it is. So yeah, I guess until then, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.